All right, guys, welcome to the Revolutions Week Blitzkrieg. Trying to get this over with here before spring break. And we have the incredibly complex French Revolution. And now we're going to shift gears a little bit, and we're going to go back to the Americas. As the revolution started in the American colonies, goes over to France, now it's going to boomerang back to the Caribbean and the Latin American islands. And the success of the American Revolution, as well as the wars of the French Revolution, its turnout, and Napoleon, instigated multiple other revolutions across the world. And it ignites them in areas that really don't get a lot of attention when it comes to revolutionary movements, especially those throughout Latin America. And between 1804 and 1824, the European powers of France, Portugal, and Spain are all going to have to withdraw their colonies from the Americas, these old world European monarchies that were fueled by the wealth of the Americas, to some of them to become absolute, become simply dominant. And part of the problem stems from the hierarchical system, the social hierarchy that existed in the time. Portuguese and Spanish-born nobles in the Americas, all right, if you were born in Portugal or you were born in Spain and you came to the Americas, you were known as a peninsulare. You were from the old world of Spain and Portugal. When you left the Iberian Peninsula, hence peninsulare, and you moved to the Americas, you could usurp people's jobs in those colonies. So if I, as a peninsulare, move to Brazil or Puerto Rico, I can kick out a Portuguese American-born rival, so to speak. Creoles are those people. This makes sense. Creoles are Spanish or Portuguese nobles born in the New World. All right? So they live in the New World. They're Portuguese nobility. They're Spanish nobility, but they're not as important as an old world noble. So as I move from Spain to Puerto Rico or to Mexico, I can kick a Creole out of their job. I can claim a top job in government or in the church. So this puts the peninsulares constantly at odds with the Creoles. Creoles are the Spanish, the Portuguese, or even French, as this will get complicated as well, aristocrats born in the New World. They did not have the old world connections. They weren't BFFs with the king. Their family members were also nobles, but born in the New World. And a New World noble is not as high a class as an Old World noble. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. The Creoles were simply seen as secondary. And they could have their jobs preempted or overtaken by any peninsulare who showed up. Some of these Creoles want to gain independence from the stranglehold of the mother country in Europe. And here's where it gets a little complicated. When Napoleon conquers Spain and Portugal, he places his brother on the throne of Spain. His brother is now the Spanish king. If anybody of you are really into this period of history, there's a British author by the name of Bernard Cornwall who wrote a series of books featuring a fictional character named Richard Sharp, who does a great job of this period of history. Anyway, when Napoleon's brother is on the throne, right, this creates a combined French and Spanish control over the New World colonies. Money that could go to Napoleon's war chest. Right? Napoleon, just like King George III, will increase the taxes on his colonists. And it doesn't work. Right? This is going to backfire, but we will get there. Anyway, the Creoles in the New World become angry because many French nobles who left France during the Revolution are over now in the French territories in the New World. Since they're French nobles from the Old World, from the mother country, they take over the jobs of the Creoles. And so many Creoles partner with the Spanish island natives to fight the combined French and Spanish monarchies. Remember, at this time, the French colonies, all right, and the Spanish colonies are working together because of Napoleon's little brother. And so the Creoles partner with the island natives to fight the combined Spanish and French monarchies so they could gain independence. A key point to remember, all right, here's all the New World colonies where the Peninsulares are going to come and take over. The natives are never going to benefit from independence. These are New World nobles trying to hang on to their social position. We want to become independent of the mother country, but we want to keep our jobs, our power, our title, and our prestige. And the Creoles felt that while achieving independence from Spain and Portugal was necessary, they really want to keep their social positions. They also want to keep their labor force, the slaves. Now, this was a crucial economic element keeping them in business and a crucial element to their social status. So in short, they want independence for themselves, but not for their people. And this will affect the Spanish, the French, and the Portuguese colonies, which I said will all be removed. Creoles, along with other merchants in Latin America, also wanted to trade freely within their own regions. British and Spanish colonies want to trade. Spanish and French colonies want to trade. It shouldn't be the old mercantile transatlantic system where you can only trade with the mother country. We want to do it for our own benefit, not just for the mother country. And the first movement of independence will come on the tiny island nation of Haiti. Today there's the Dominican Republic and there's Haiti. Dominican Republic will cater to, beaches and sandals, all-inclusive resorts. And Haiti is one of the most economically poor, depressed countries in the world. Several years ago, there was a hurricane and earthquake that ravaged them. Haiti has had trouble for a long time. But it's in Haiti that we see the first movement of independence. And the revolution in Haiti will begin because France simply cannot control its colonies during the French Revolution. While the French were having the revolution at home, fighting the wars with all of Europe and themselves, Napoleon's conquests, they couldn't keep an eye on and control their colonies. And so there was a massive uprising of a repressed social class. And this is the common theme, whether it's the American Revolution, the French Revolution, the Haitian, the Mexican, Boulevard de San Martin in South America. It's always the middle and lower classes that are going to rebel. Massive social movements. Haiti's no different. At the time, Haiti was known as Hispaniola, and it will achieve its independence from France following a slave rebellion that will start way back in 1791. When Louis XVI is getting arrested in Varennes and drugged back to Paris, the Haitians are going to rebel. And Haiti was an extremely valuable colony to France in the late 1700s. The French nobles owned very large sugar plantations. Slaves and sugar were taken from West Africa and brought to the Caribbean. It's very profitable. There's an enormous demand for sugar in Europe. You put sugar on things and they actually taste good. 3:30, 4 o'clock in England is tea time. Well, without sugar in it, all right, tea is just warm, muddy water. But you put some sugar in it and it becomes what we here in the South call sweet tea. All right, it tastes good. It's like ambrosia. Only thing better than sweet tea is Coca-Cola. And this is an enormous cash crop, an agricultural crop you sell for money. And these plantations are run by simply hundreds and thousands of slaves. Brandon and I talk all the time. Brandon, are we going to go in the sugarcane field? No, we are not. So somebody else has got to do it. Haiti also is home to many free French people. They were half French and half native. And since they couldn't live in either world, the French despised the Haitian half and the Haitians despised the French half, they were very badly mistreated, especially by the French. And then comes the leader of the story, Toussaint L'Ouverture. And Toussaint will lead the Haitian independence movement. He was born a slave, but his father was part of a West African noble family. And he taught his son to take pride in his African heritage. Toussaint learned to speak the language of his West African ancestors. But he's a smart guy, and he also learned to read and speak French. Parlez-vous le français? So as he read French philosophies of the Enlightenment era, he's reading Voltaire, he's reading Montesquieu, he's picking up all this stuff. The ideas begin to resonate with him. They make sense. And so a slave revolt will break out in 1791, and Toussaint is 48 years old. He's a middle-aged guy. But his intelligence and his skill as a military leader earns him the rank and position of general. He wasn't just nominated it, he actually earned it. And Toussaint's army of slaves will fight the trained armies of Spain, right? They will also fight English armies. Both countries sent armies into Haiti, and it was one of the most bloody, nasty revolutions in the Americas. And by 1798, Toussaint achieves his goal. The enslaved Haitians had been freed. Haiti is still technically a French colony, and Napoleon wants to use it as a base to put troops in Louisiana. The Americas were spreading westward, and Louisiana was a French colony. He had to put soldiers there, or the Americans are going to come and take it. That's what he wants to do with Haiti. Problem is, he's over in France, and Toussaint controls much of the island. And he goes about starting to rebuild his country that had been devastated from many long years of warfare. And so he works with the French nobles living in Haiti to create a Haitian constitution. Can you believe it? And a government that was open, where whites, French, mixed-race Haitians, and even Africans could find a way to work together. But man, France just really doesn't want to let go. During the big slave revolt, our boy Napoleon has risen to power in France. And he wants to recapture it, as I said, to have that staging depot for the American colonies. And so Toussaint has to come out of retirement and fulfill his role as a military leader. However, the French troops sent to the island start falling victims to the yellow fever, malaria, and they couldn't fight. And knowing that the soldiers were weak, right, if you can't fight them, trick them. Toussaint was invited to a French peninsulare house for peace talks. And Toussaint, showing up in good faith, is captured. He's seized by soldiers who sneak him aboard a French warship, and he is taken to France, where he will die in prison. However, that only ignites the fervor. In 1804, Haitian leaders declare their independence from France. Haiti is now its own independent country, and Napoleon is forced to give it up. A reciprocal effect of giving up Haiti, Napoleon trying to find a way to make money now that he's losing his North American colonies, sells the Louisiana Purchase to President Thomas Jefferson and the United States. And it's about 16 years later that different Haitian leaders will vie and fight for power. But in 1820, Haiti becomes a new independent republic. The people are free. They're free from the mother country, but they will still be dominated by the rich and the wealthy in Haiti. But Haiti is now the first non-slave working nation in the Americas. The people are freed from slavery. They may be poor, but they're no longer slaves, and they are independent. So Haiti and Toussaint L'Ouverture will be the first to accomplish their goals. But remember, the independence is for the upper classes, not the poor people. So there's a quick look at the Latin American beginning the revolutions, the difference between Peninsulare and Creole, and the Haitian Revolution. All right, guys, we'll do some Simon Bolivar and Jose de San Martin tomorrow. See you guys then.